Welcome back, YouTube. My name is David Mitchell. I am the host of the Ace of Spades, and as always, I promise you no fluff. So it looks like we're headed towards a potential second wave of the whole coronavirus pandemic, and I thought this would be a great time to release a video of the stocks that I picked up this year that I'm probably never going to sell because I got them at such a great deal. I'm going to go into the stocks that I picked, the reasons why I picked them, and some of the prices, and even what I think about some of the stocks that are booming right now coming up. So when coronavirus was still pretty new, a lot of investors were panicking and the stock market was going through the floor, mostly due to panic in the market and investors wanting to be liquid. And they were rightfully so to make those choices. But I found that certain industries were over 50% off. Cruise lines, airlines, oil industry, car rentals, and I found it hard to lose money. The reason why I say I found it hard to lose money because some of the strongest brands we have in the country were down, some even over 50%. So these were really no-brainers for me to pick up. So here are the stocks that I picked up and why. I'm going to start with Delta. Delta is the second largest airline in America by passenger traffic. At one point, Delta was losing $100 million a day, but they still reported over $6 billion in cash at the end of the first quarter. So with Delta being around $20 per stock, it was like I just couldn't help but to buy that. I don't believe Delta is going to go bankrupt or they're going to get acquired by another company. So at $20 a share, it was a steal. Next up is Carnival Cruise Line and Norwegian Cruise Line. They pretty much docked the ships when coronavirus was still like raging and pretty new. So I figured that it would hit single digits at some point. I got a little nervous at around $10 a share, so I picked up most of these shares between like $8 and $10 per share, which is still an amazing deal considering that they were at their peaks. They were around like $60 a share a year or so ago. These shares have shown pretty great consistency over the last 5 years, and it's really lines up with a lot of pretty much all the companies that I'm going to mention today, that this was just purely panic and the inability to operate that drove these stocks down. So I believe just about anyone could have made money in this market despite the timing, and I still believe that these stocks are at great prices now, even though they are not that low. Will Norwegian and Carnival Cruise Line get back to $60 this year? I doubt it, but again, I acquired them between $8 and $10. So even if they went to $20 or $30 this year, I'll take that. As far as for the car rental side, I do have to mention Hertz. Now, I wouldn't recommend holding this stock, and this isn't one of the ones that I'll hold forever, but I wanted to mention it because of the amount of money that I did make this year. I know a lot of investors have as well. I'm not going to go into great detail. I'll link some of the videos up here, but with Hertz, it was more so due to the management of the company, but the pandemic in itself actually just pushed it over the edge, and of course they filed for bankruptcy, and the stock went down to cents, pennies on the dollar, and it had a really big rush pump by the investors, and a lot of people made money, and it was able to get off of the OTC back onto the New York Stock Exchange, and it's actually still holding relatively well, but I would not hold that stock. And in that same breath, I'd say the same thing about Whiting Petroleum. Again, I have a video I'll link up here that goes more into detail, but the oil and gas industry has been greatly affected by this. Particularly, I picked up Marathon Oil and ExxonMobil. I'll start with Marathon. Marathon has been expanding rapidly across the country. I see them investing heavily into the trucking industry, and their truck stops are actually really state-of-the-art. They make pilots and loves look like trash. They are really going the extra mile as far as for the cleanliness, the organization, and the things that they offer, and getting into the diesel market. And I see also like the regular gas stations are popping up a lot as well, especially as I'm traveling even right now. In my opinion, ExxonMobil is one of the most stable companies in the country. I believe if the U.S. got hit with a nuke, ExxonMobil would still be standing just because of the amount of money they have. So any opportunity that I have for any reason to pick up ExxonMobil at 50% off, I'm going to do it. And then when you factor in the dividends that they pay, I will probably never sell ExxonMobil. There's really not a reason to. Now, that's where about 90% of my portfolio is, as far as in the stocks that I'm never going to sell. And the approach was very simple to reorganize my portfolio. Now, if you're thinking long term, I know right now we're hearing a lot of talk with Amazon and Tesla. Amazon's hitting all new highs, and I don't believe they're going anywhere. Amazon has been Walmart's nightmare forever, and to be honest, in my opinion, the only reason Amazon exists is because Walmart got away from its core values. Walmart has been driven primarily by profit and cutting costs, and not customer service oriented. Amazon is doing everything the right way, especially with Prime. However, there has been some talks that Walmart is coming out with something called Walmart Plus, which is going to be the answer to to Amazon Prime. We'll have to see about that, because I know how Walmart likes to cut corners to remain cost effective and not prioritize the customers. So we'll have to see if they screw that up, because we all know that Walmart.com definitely wasn't the answer. But as far as stocks go, with with Amazon and Tesla, I do believe we're going to see Amazon at 5K in the near future and Tesla at over 3K. These are really solid companies with very infinite mind built and leading and thinking into the future. And they're not so just focused on the customer experience, but also improving the lives. Like, I really love their mission statements and the core values as far as that they lead and the companies that they acquire to really connect with their consumers. And I believe when you have those kinds of leaders, you're bound to continue growing even in the rapidly changing world. Walmart, not so much. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not really impressed by Walmart. But the Walton family, they own so many shares and they're so rich. I don't think that you can lose money in a Walmart stock, because I know they pretty much control the price, and they're going to make sure that at least the year-over-year average is going to be positive. But I would bet more towards a Amazon or a Tesla. Because Walmart stock might as well be a private stock like Publix grocery stores. The Walton family owns so many of them, and they can split them so many different times. That's just how I feel. I feel like that should probably be a private stock, because you won't necessarily lose money, but with the stranglehold that the Waltons have on that on the stock price, that it might as well just be a private stock, and they're just going to decide, oh, okay, well, how much is it going to be worth this year, and should we increase the amount of stocks? But that's just my opinion. So please let me know what stocks you picked up, and if you did acquire some that you're never going to sell, or if we picked up some of the same stocks, or if you have some that you believe are going to be really big in the future, let me know in the comments. As always, if this video provided you with any value, please consider giving it a like. It helps the YouTube algorithm, it helps the channel grow, and also consider subscribing if I provided you with any value. My promise to you is to be as direct as possible and cut out all of the fluff, because your time is valuable too. Happy investing, and until next time.